Welcome to another TRSB Sports podcast with myself, Shane Big. Quite happy to have on the show this evening Mailys Gangloff, French bantamweight boxer, professional boxer, second lady boxer on the show. Delighted to have you on here. How are you today?
I'm fine. I just go out from training, so I feel like punchy, but it's okay.
Well, at least you're there and I'm here and you can't punch me. So really, I just wanted to find out a little bit more about you, about yourself, and about your boxing and when you started. So what age did you start boxing?
I start at 12, and but without competition, and I really start competition at 14.
Okay. And how did you get into the boxing at such an early age? You have family or friends that box?
I just have a family with parents who say you can do all the sport you want, and just make one, the one that you choose, but make one. And my big sister was practicing box, and I didn't. I was in every sport, like swimming, like climbing, like everything, and then I finished in karate, like you, and finally I find I just have a coach who buy a punching bag, and I discover the sensation to punch in a bag, and it was like amazing, because I was a child who was a bit shy, and I didn't express myself, and I was just bad in my skin, and finally I just discovered it, and it was like freedom for me, and I realized that it was what I wanted to do, really. And so I joined my sister, but finally she was not in boxing anymore, so I just miss her like this, and but I find my place, and finally I never go out.
It's amazing to think that you was someone who was shy, and when you look at how you box now, how forward you are and how aggressive you are, it's amazing to think that maybe you were shy back then. So
yeah, but I think it's because I was shy and I keep everything inside me, and boxing was just the only place where, as a woman, I can say no, it's enough. I'm angry, and I'm just I have something to exploit to
express.
To just, yeah, and so it was just the only place for me, so I didn't have choice. It was not like oh, okay, now I will stop to be shy. No, it's just that I find the place, and it was amazing.
So how does your obviously your family, your family, they happy to back you doing whatever you do, but when you finally said, right, I want to be professional, what did the family say then?
They really don't care, because they are just happy if I am, it's type of family, like it's not don't care, like I really don't care of who you are and what it is and so on. It's I don't care, like do what you want. And they know all the troubles that I had as an amateur boxer, and so they know that my boxing type is more like a professional than like an amateur. So I think they was quite happy, but not at all, it was just a personal choice.
And so how is it when they see you? So if your mum is watching you, how does your mum feel? Does she get nervous, or does she watch, or she doesn't watch?
My mother is a type of woman who is really strong. She is really a powerful woman, and so I never see her like be sad, or she was only angry or happy, just like this, this type of big woman. And I discover a side of my mother, like scary, because I'm her daughter, and I'm the little one. I have two big sisters, so I'm the little one, the last one, and so yeah, she's scary. I scared her because I take punch, and sometimes too much, and so now I try to stop to take punch and only give some, but sometimes I can't. So yeah, it's quite hard for my mother sometimes, I think.
No, definitely. I could imagine if I was having my own children, watching them fight, I would probably be the same, to be honest. It's because obviously you care about your children, your family. So,
and even more for a woman, because a boy, if he have a scratch on his face, it's okay, it's a boy. But for a woman, if you're pretty, so you don't have to have a scratch on your face, so yeah. It's pretty scary.
So with obviously your boxing, you got into the boxing, you become a French champion at your second attempt of getting a title. Obviously the first time it didn't quite go to plan, but did that help you, drive you forward for the second time?
For which championship?
So when you obviously you won your French title at the second attempt. So you lost the first time.
Yeah.
But that loss the first time, did that help you win the second time? Did it push you forward, give you determination?
Of course. She was a girl that I know before, because boxing is a little world into women's boxing, and so I knew her, and I knew that she will just punch like this, and that's all. And I had only two pro fights, and it was only 4 rounds, and French championship is 8 rounds. So I think I was not ready for that, but we didn't find anyone to come to make a 6th round before, so I just tried to take my chance, and I just tried to win, but I did not, and I was pretty angry about myself because she was not good, and I lose, and I was like, I'm a really big shit because I lose against someone that I think she's bad. And then it gave me so much energy to I just wanted to rematch her, and finally she stopped, and so I will never come back with her. So that's the life, but that's okay. And finally for the second, it was more easier because I had so much fight before, so I have experience, and so it was quite easy.
So and in that title fight that you won, how did the fight go? Did the fight go to plan as you expected?
No, not at all.
Oh.
I had a coach since I'm young, since I'm 12, and he was always the same, and I never go out from my city here, so I never change of gym, and I never change of coach, and so I had a relation with him, like I see him more than I see my own dad, and so it was quite important for me. And finally, to Ellie Scotney's fight in England, I had some troubles with him because of papers, because he lied to me, and I was really angry about him, because you don't lie to someone that you know since she's 12, and so I didn't want it to work with him anymore, and so I say, okay, I go to the French championship by my own, and I just stopped to train with him, and I just go running every day, and so that was not expected, because I go to Ellie Scotney's fights to prepare my French championship. And so it was not expected that my coach just lied to me. So I continued to train myself, and I was trying to find someone to come in my corner. But you know, there's some rules, so you can't just say, no, I don't want this coach anymore. You have to respect rules. And in the rules, they say that you can't just change your coach during the year if he is not agree with that. Okay. And he was not agree, of course. So I had to go to the French championship with him. So first point, I did not want to go to this championship with him. And finally, I have to. Okay, so two choice, I go with him or I don't go. Of course, I go with him. Secondly, because of hand ropes, he didn't have materials. And so he just gave me the last one of Ellie Scotney's fight. And he put it on my hands and he scratched it. And then the referee come and say, no, it's not okay. So we had to make one, but with no any material. So it was like, oh my God. And we didn't have time to make it. We was the first fight in the night. And so it just make it like, it was crazy. So the referee come back and say, yeah, that's one is okay. And they say, that's okay for my hands. It's not a problem, but my opponent will feel it. You know, I think it's better if I take the last one, hands, wrap hands. And I say, no, it's not okay. You take the new one. Okay, like you want. And then another guy come and say, okay, it's time for your fight, but I'm not warm up. Yeah, it's time. So you go. So I was like cold, like fresh, like, okay, with no warp. And I just had to go. And I was like, okay, life. And then I go. And finally, I just tried to make something a bit technique, but it was not good. And finally, just with my right, I just touch her nose every time. And finally, I just go and touch her nose every time. And finally, she bled and bled and bled, and she never stopped. And then, so the medical staff say, no, it's okay, to the 4th round. And I was like, okay, what happened? I don't know. Not one thing go to the way that she has to go, you know. It was the worst fight of my life.
It sounds like it was a nightmare. Yeah. To get ready. The worst possible way to start a fight. So, but to come through that, it shows something about your character, for you to have all of that go against you and probably use it to go and win the fight. So that says good things about you, to be honest. So obviously that's you winning your title. So then obviously, I think the first time I got to see you was when you come over for a matchroom fight. And I think the first one, I think it was Ellie Scotney.
Ellie Scotney, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was the first one. And again, I watched it and I thought it was a great fight. But I look at it and I think the size difference sometimes. I think you always come forward, you don't stop, you always apply pressure. And what was that experience like? Because I guess that was probably the first biggest stage that you've come to a fight. What was that like?
It was difficult, and it's a bit the same type of story that I will tell you. It's, you know, my coach don't speak English. And so it was kind of, yeah, you know, she weight a bit like you, like 55 kilogram. So like 120, like this. And he was like 120. Yeah. You want to go? Wait, yeah, I want to go. Okay. And finally the wait was over and I was like, that's not my category. and everything was like, my coach don't understand anything, and so everything was like a surprise for me. And like it was like, yeah, we go in England and we will fight. It didn't say we go to match room with Dazen and with everything. It didn't understand anything. And I just come in England, and then I come out of the bus and there were cameras and a big hotel and everything. And I was like, oh shit, that was not expected. And it was like this since the beginning to the end. And it was amazing because in France, we don't have huge things like this. And my God, it was like a surprise. And in the same time, it was like a good surprise. I didn't like surprise, but this one was a good one.
Yeah, so this is massive experience, I suppose. So this is, like you say, it's cameras, it's Eddie Hearn on the TV, interviews. So was it the first time you've been in that situation where you're dealing with that kind of that bigness, the press and everything?
Yeah, it was really huge and really like with photos and so on. And I was like, okay, that's not what I know doing. You know, I don't know to be. You know, it's Ebanie Bridges. She know how to do. She know how to be in front of a camera, in front of someone who shot you and so on. And I didn't know, and it's all a part of my job that I didn't know, and I just discovered it, and I just tried to do my best. And finally, for the fight, it was a bit the same because I didn't know how to live that, because first she was punching fucking hard, and I was like, that was not expected. And finally, to the second round, the first round, I feel like she wanted to kill me, and I was like, okay, that's hard. So what we do? And finally, my coach was like, okay, it's okay. You want to drink? Yeah, it's good. Come on. And it was not like in panic like me. I was in panic, and it didn't. So finally, I come back in the second round like, okay, let's go. And finally, I make all the fight like, okay, let's go. And I just go and I just tried to do something, but I felt that it was not good. But I was like, I don't know how to pass through this. And so I just tried to do my best, and I didn't find a way to do it better. And but I'm not proud of this fight. It was, I just take too much punch. Oh my God. And I think she was surprised, because as I am, like, oh, you can just stand like this, oh, you can take this punch. How? Oh my God.
I think what surprised her was the fact that you just kept coming. I think anyone that has a fight with you, they're not going to have an easy fight. They won't have an easy time. They can't relax because you're relentless in what you do. And I watched the fight again recently, and I thought, if you look at the size difference, for someone like yourself going up against someone who's a bigger weight, it's always going to be harder. But you always performed well. And then I suppose the next one was, the next time I saw was Ebanie Bridges. And that was the next fight I saw. And again, I think it was a size thing. It was not fair in my eyes, the size thing. But before I talk about the fight, you said about Ebanie Bridges and the press and the cameras, and obviously she does the weigh-in and she is in her lingerie and she's not like the normal female boxers that I see in the past. And I just wondered, is this positive for female boxing, or is it negative in the way
I think
the weigh-in is?
Bad. I think it's not bad because it's not because Ebanie Bridges make it in her way, who is a beautiful way, by the way. She's her way, and I can't do that, and because it's not me, you know. But it's good because people who really don't care about boxing finally discover boxing because of this type of personality. It's about personality. It's about met someone and say, wow, that's amazing what she did. And then people became like fan. And so I think it's good. And then, I don't know, some people are more fun about who I am, like someone without playing of anything, like just normal girl, like hi. I think people recognize himself in me, like, okay, I'm normal, we can be normal. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no,
because
yeah, definitely. I think what I was saying is because I think I remember watching the weigh-in, and my wife come in, and my wife doesn't watch much boxing, but she'd come in and she was like, is she a boxer or is she a lingerie model? I said, well, she's a boxer, but it was just that difference. You don't see that. But I suppose you can look at the other side and you can say, well, the men come in to the weigh-in, no tops on, shorts. So is there a difference, I suppose? So that's the one thing. But
and it's not like if someone come and like this and just be beautiful and then just don't do anything in boxing, you know. She's a one who say, okay, I'm beautiful, and now you can see me punch hard someone. And she's so amazing, like, okay, we can do both in the same time, that's beautiful, okay, let's go. You know, you don't have to just be beautiful and pretty and just shut your mouth and just be beautiful and be in decoration in the corner of a room, you know. No, you can be beautiful and do something.
Yeah, good. And at the end of the day, what she does is, like you say, she promotes boxing. So maybe eyes that wasn't on females boxing is on females boxing. So in respect to that, I think there's so many opinions as to what this is like, but in the long run, if it elevates females boxing, then potentially we could say it have to be a good thing. So that's the weigh-in. But then obviously you have the fight with Ebanie, and again, I watched the fight the first time and you won. That's how I saw it. And then the funny thing is, because we were having the interview, I decided to watch it on YouTube again. So I watched it, but I looked at the comments and there was 300 comments, and every comment was, Mailys got robbed, Mailys got robbed, Mailys won, Mailys won. So, and again, the size difference between the two of you, it looked like Ebanie was looking to do one thing. It looked like she was looking to come forward with her weight advantage and just try to knock you out. But it seemed you had all of the answers for her. How did that fight in your eyes go?
I really don't have a lot of memories of this time because I was just in in a better way than the first time in matchroom. I was like in a dream and I didn't remember everything. I discovered some things by watching the cameras, by watching videos. And so I'm not sure of what I will answer to you, but it was like, for me, during the first and the second round, I was like, okay, I'm with my new coach for the first time. I know her since 2 weeks. I know that she's hard. I know that she wants me to do something well and not do something like Ellie Scotney. And because I was really bad with Ellie Scotney, oh my God. And and so I know that she expects something from me. So I was like trying to prepare myself to something. I don't know what I did, but, and yeah, Ebanie was calm, like, I will just punch you like never, like nobody punched you before. And finally, she touched me to the second round, and I was like, hey, you touched me. And finally, it made me wake up, and I started to box. And then it was cool. And I didn't know, like, I just remember one time she was trying to catch me, and I was like, what you're doing? Please, no, we was boxing, so just keep boxing, please. And finally she did. And I was like, yeah, perfect, we box, you know, because I hate when people catch me and just play this unclean rock, like, okay, I clinch and I just put my weight on you and so on. And it made me really like, hey, it's not the game, so just make your job and respect rules, please. And she did, and so it was really a beautiful fight. I felt it during the fight, and so it was cool. It was really a pleasant fight for me. But you know, I'm a bit angry about the end, because really the referee, I want his name. I want his name so much. The referee so put her hand up and watch me and say something like, just one round. It was like, you know,
Close.
like close. It was close, and so just one round. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one? Why did you justify to me? I'm a young woman. I just worked so hard for this, and you just steal it from me. Come on, make your job. Come on. I don't know. And so, and you can't just be angry to the TV and and say to Edion, hey guy, what you doing? You can't. So yeah, it's a game. You know that boxing is like that. And
when for the last round, when you come out for the last round and you're with your coach, what was your coach saying to you at the last round? Was she saying, you've got this, stay out of trouble?
She was just happy because I did the job, because I respect what she wanted me to do, and because I don't take punch, because normally I had to go to the French Championship 2 weeks after that. So I wanted to stay clean, like, okay, the medical staff can say, yeah, you can box to the French Championship. So I was just happy, like, okay, I did the job, I don't take punch, and so that's cool. And she was proud of me, and she's a big champion. She's 12-time world champion, I think, something like that. And so if she's proud of me, so I did a really good job, and I knew it. But she didn't say you win or you lose. She was just happy and proud, and so I was too, like, okay, let's go. This time is my time, and finally that's.
Yeah. What are your plans now going forward? What are you looking to do? Are you looking to stay at Bantam, or do you think maybe come down a a class and maybe look at a title at a lower level, a lower weight?
Yeah, of course, because you say it, we were not in the same volume.
Yeah, size difference.
It's because in France, we don't have this culture of weight loss. We are just like we are, and we just try to lose some weight, but not that much, you know. And other countries, know how to just cut the water and just lose 10 kilograms like this. And so not 10, because I think it's dangerous for the body and it's unhealthy. But I think, yes, I can go in a fly or superfly. Superfly is really easy for me. And I think fly is a bit like a normal job for me, but a bit hard, but a good strategy, I think, for me, because I will be so punchy and so strong for every woman in fly, I think. So it could be good.
Yeah, I think you've got an Argentinian girl, Michaela, who won, is the IBF super flyweight champion, and I think she got a record of only 13 and 1, something like that. Potentially something for you to look at. Yeah,
I'm not someone who fight like I want to win all my fights, and so I will never fight someone who is in the same level of me, because I have some chance to lose. I don't think like that. I think like, did I have a chance of win? Yeah, so let's go.
Yeah, so
yeah, she proposed to me, I go.
Yeah, I think she's got not 13. I think she's got a 10 and 1 record. So she's not far off you, 11 bouts and you're 8 bouts. So you're quite close, really. So maybe that's something you can look forward to, maybe getting at the end of 2022. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm looking for some fights, because actually we try to organize in France the 18 March in my city, Aix-les-Bains. And it's really hard because no any girl want to come. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not enough famous to be important and to make people come, but I'm not enough easy to make people come. So I'm like too hard, but not enough famous. And I'm like, I'm just in between two, and it's really hard because I just want to box, and I don't box since 6 months, and I really need to, I just train every day for that. And as we say before the camera, I don't have the job actually, because I just want to make only boxing and stay really focused and give all my energy in boxing and recover and so on. And so I really try my best, but I don't have fights, and so I'm waiting.
So is that down to like having a manager or promoter that can find you these fights? Are you in a situation where you have someone to look for these fights for you?
My coach tried to be my manager, but it's 2 different jobs, so I think she don't have all the contacts we need. So I think I have to find a manager, but in France it's not easy as it is in England. So I'm waiting. I hope that I have some proposition in the future.
Maybe you need to get on the phone to Barry Hearn and maybe have a call, ask him. Matchroom promoter, Barry Hearn, the Matchroom promoter.
Okay.
Maybe you need to call him. Maybe he can get you a fight.
Yeah, I hope to.
So I was just going to say, we discussed all of the boxing. I just wondered, what do you do outside of boxing? So you do your boxing, you fight. What does Mailys do to relax? What do you do to relax?
I just prepare my job of coaching for when I will stop boxing, because I have a degree for coaching people, and so I just prepare some session of boxing, like different type, like different for different person, like healthy one, like unhealthy one, and I just try to build something for coach people, and that's all. Then I have my normal life. You know, in France we eat good things, and we have so many good products. So I principally just go to the supermarket to buy something, some vegetables, and so I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat fish, I don't eat animals because they are really kind, and it's bad to eat animals.
What's the cat's name?
It's Bebu.
Okay, well, I was just going to say it's been a real pleasure having you on the show this evening. We'll definitely be keeping an eye out for you. Hope you get a fight soon lined up, and as soon as you get that fight lined up, we would love to get you on the show again and have a chat again.
Yeah, with pleasure too.
Oh, lovely.
So
Nice seeing you, and you enjoy yourself and you have a nice night. Take care of the cat.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.